conversations because remember, you are one conversation away from somebody pouring into you and changing your perspective on something. The same way a conversation from me, when I'm talking with somebody, I know I have the power to change the trajectory of their life because that's the power of words. But you got to first know who you are. And part of that, knowing who you are, is what you used to do because it was a big part of your identity. Welcome to the Next Arena podcast. I'm your host, Alex Molden. And, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. And it's all about you're still an athlete. Even though you stopped playing whatever sport that is, and you did it at a high level, you're still an athlete. So it really is like redefining what that word actually means. Identity, your identity in that sport is not a liability. It actually is an asset. And so this episode is to help you understand like the weight that carries. And I don't care if you played racquetball, tennis, lacrosse, volleyball, sand volleyball, basketball, football. It doesn't matter. If you've played it at a higher level, you have to understand you are set apart. There is things that you've gone through that other people would look at and be like, oh my goodness, that is like the discipline that you used to have, or that's the discipline that you had, which if you can talk about it, you can still have it. You still have that same discipline. You just need to reframe it, right? You just have to reframe it. So like the things so when I was working at Nike, I was a trainer there for 15 years, right? Did some amazing things there, met some great people. But what Nike has done in terms of employing different people is if you are a former athlete, they're hiring people, the people that I know who hired former athletes, they would, first of all, their eyes would light up. What? They played a sport in college? Or they played in the pros? Oh, okay. So it's already built in, it's already baked in that you're a hard worker. You know how to deal with conflict. You know about like a schedule, dealing with different people from different backgrounds. You know what leadership looks like. You know what it's, to take coaching. I'm not going to say criticism, but take coaching. Like all of these are assumed when you're working with people who've been around athletes. Some people, they might not value that, but in a sports-based company like a Nike, or I'm sure like a Adidas or Under Armour or Columbia or all these different, like they look at you different. And no words has even came out your mouth yet, right? When you've done something at a higher level. So you just need to like understand that because there was a time where I was like, man, yeah, I play football because for some people, you say football or you say your sport, and then you think the negative parts that come along with that. All right. Whatever that is. All right. Yeah, I'm out in the clubs. Right. Uh I'm out in the clubs. I'm a womanizer. I'm bad with my money. I got baby mamas all over the place. Like those are some of the things that would come into my head that I have to break through. But not everybody thinks like you, right? Not everybody thinks like you. And once you start to, and of course, like, and on the other side of things, like I don't walk around with telling everybody that, I'm a pro athlete or I used to. It comes up in conversation. Or I know somebody who's with me and they say it, right? So they bring it up. So then that sparks conversation. But it is a vehicle that can help you more than you even think, right? Especially if you're kind of new to being outside of your sport, like that, you can use that to help you. You can use you playing a sport in the collegiate level to open doors. And now for me, like I'm looking for conversations. Like conversations because remember, you are one conversation away from somebody pouring into you and changing your perspective on something. The same way a conversation from me, when I'm talking with somebody, I can change. I know I have the power to change the trajectory of their life because that's the power of words. But you got to first know who you are. And part of that, knowing who you are, is what you used to do because it was a big part of your identity. And we talked about our last episode, we talked about identity. So what you did is part of that. You just got to understand, like you can be able to still use that, even though it might have been 10 years from you playing your last sport, right? Your last game or whatever. That carries a lot of weight because if you look at all the stats, right? There's stats out there to say the percentages of people from high school who go on to college. What it's like to get an athletic scholarship, it's like 3% or something like that. Just to go to college and play a sport, whether you walk on or not, it's like 7%. So even if you're a walk on, you still did, man, there's stuff that walk ons do that, man, it blows my mind. Like they really love this sport. If they're able to do it and participate in it, and then they at the bottom of the totem pole and still carry on with it and have a positive attitude. I mean, come on. That's special. So yeah, but you need to be able to own it, right? And then how did you leverage it? Whether you're starting your own business or you're getting into it, you have an interview process or whatnot. I mean, how do you weave that in? And how do you talk about it? Talk about it and all the things, and not just all the good stuff, the championships, the wins, and all that stuff. Man, talk about the time that you ran into a difficulty with a coach or a teammate, and you talk about, man, what happened from it? Was it good? What did it teach you? Right? I had terrible teammates, and beyond that, they were terrible people. And then they were terrible teammates. So, but on the flip side, I've had I say good teammates that were terrible people and vice versa. But you can be able to talk about this because you've been in these environments that, will mimic what they're doing in the corporate space. So, and then in the entrepreneurial world, this is something that I learned later before getting into this world where I started to speak. And then now I do personal development coaching and also do consulting for companies and leadership development. Like I pull on the different stories that I've witnessed, that I've been involved in. Like I pull on that and I tell these impactful stories, but I pull out like the meat that I learned from it, what I should have done better. Like, and you need to be a storyteller if you're going to go and enter into the entrepreneurial space. No matter if you're building socks, you're making workout gear, building cups, coffee, or you speaking, right? You need to be able to know that these stories are beneficial. You just got to be able to leverage it. Okay. So this was a short one, but I look forward to being with you guys on this journey, helping you figure out like what's next in the next arena.